Hi, I'm gonna tell you some amazing books to read, so hopefully you're a reader if you're watching this. My cousin Gina back there, I don't know if you can see her. She's supposed to be helping me, but she's a little preoccupied right now. So I'm just gonna start with the books I read in school. I'm in an AP English class, CMA. So not all of these books are actually meant for high school students or younger kids. So I'm going to tell you if you shouldn't read them. And she says she's read them, but she hasn't read all of them. So, alright, I'm going to start out with The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. I have no clue how to say his name. But it's spelled Z-U-S-A-K. It's about this little girl named Lucille, and she's a foster kid, and she steals books, and set in World War II Germany, and she steals books, and she doesn't know how to read, but she still steals books anyways, and she starts learning how to read with her foster father, so it's about that, and then she actually uses her talent of reading to help her community during bomb raids, and it just goes through like her life through all this, and then like it's really interesting because it's like narrated by Death, and of course who doesn't love Death, but it also shows like her connection to a young Jewish man that they hide in their basement. Yeah, it's a great book. Highly recommend it. It was first published in Australia for women to read, I guess. But now it's here in America for young adults. So it's a great book. Pretty much anyone can read it. It's a really fast read. It's really thick, but it's great. Okay, next. Rule of the Bone by Russell Banks. This is the story of a 14-year-old boy delinquent named Chappie. He ends up running away from home, and it goes through everything that happens pretty much after he runs away. So, yeah, it goes through him growing up and learning about different things, but this book is not for younger children. It goes through issues of drugs, sex, child abuse, loss, and there's violence, but it's a pretty good book. Yeah. He ends up going to Jamaica, I think, and he meets his father, who he's never met in his life. And it goes through all of that, and I'm not going to ruin it for you because I could talk on and on about this stuff, but I'm not going to try to ruin it for you. So I really highly recommend that. I don't recommend you read it if you're not yet 14. Maybe not even then. Just because I don't want to get in trouble with your parents or whatever. Yeah. I have to worry about that a lot with some of my family members, so. Alright, next, Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. This is one of those books you don't expect to be very good, but then it turns out to be okay. But it's the story of Holden Caulfield, and his journey through accepting his, brothers or sisters, I can't remember, but accepting their death, and it shows like he has an immense respect for women, and that his parents, as much as they love him, they really haven't had the time to take care of his grief because they've been spending all their time grieving themselves, and they really haven't had time to look at their children and see if they're okay because of their brother's death. And he has another brother and a sister, which you do get to somewhat meet throughout the story, and you see he's very close with his sister, but yeah, it's a great book. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Yeah, I know that this is kind of like, I don't know, cliche. Everyone reads this book in high school, and it's supposed to be such a crappy book because it's all you ever read in high school, and all high school books are crappy. But no, this is a really great book. I mean, despite all the negative information out there about it, it's a really good book. But anyways, it's the story of a Scout, her brother Jem, and their friend Dill, and what happens to them in their life, because their father, Atticus Finch, who is a lawyer, takes on a case protecting a young black man, during a time when that really wasn't accepted. It was something he couldn't get around, but it wasn't really accepted that he go through with this court case, but he kind of didn't have a choice. And they don't have a mother, and their mother figure is their maid, Capricorn. I can't say her name, it's like really weird. But anyways, and it's also focuses a lot on their relationship with their neighbor, Arthur, or Boo Radley, who was a mystery figure until pretty much the end of the book, so I'm not going to ruin that for you because you should really read it. The Secret Life of Bees, and I think it's by Sue Monk-Kidd, but I'm not sure anymore, so don't hold me on that. It's about this girl who runs away from her abusive father, and in her father's defense, it's not totally his fault. He's just going through some issues right now. But anyways, she goes to live with a black family, 3 sisters, and there's a couple other characters, but I'm not going to get into that. But she runs away with her maid to go live with this family. And it's during a time when blacks and whites weren't really expected to associate that way, and it wasn't really accepted that they lived together unless they were like maid and master or something like that. Yeah. They actually have a movie out now. It came out this year. It's a great movie. Went to see it with the AP class, so highly recommend it. And they stuck pretty much to the book, so that's a good thing. The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. This is another one of those books you expect to suck, but then once you get into it, it's amazing. It's a story about pretty much this guy Gatsby from his neighbor's point of view. And he's a rich guy, and all he's ever wanted in life is the one girl that he loves. And it goes through that whole story and what happens. I mean, there's hit and runs, drug deals and stuff, and it's not really that bad of a book, so pretty much anyone could read it. It doesn't matter what age you are, even though it does have the drug things in it or whatever. But it's a great book. Highly recommend it. I actually had a friend who SparkNoted it, and he said once he got done reading the SparkNotes, he'd wish he had actually taken the time to read the book. So that has to say a little bit about it. Kira by Cynthia Kadota. It's Japanese, I can't say it, so, but Kira actually means sparkling, glittering in Japanese, and it's about her life story, and she grew up in a time, during the time when, Japanese people weren't really accepted in America. What are you doing?
I'm fixing this.
Sorry, anyways, she grew up through a time where Japanese people weren't really accepted in America, and her sister became very sick, and her mother and father work in factories, so they're very poor, and her uncle is involved, and it's just a great story. It's not really one of those ones that you kind of just like can't put down. I mean, you can put this one down, but it's a book that, you know, everyone should read at some time in their life. Okay, I guess I'm going to be making quite a few more videos because I have a huge list, and I'm kind of out of time right now, so I'll come back to you later.